Merry readers, come cozy in. Let the story time begin with Robin and the Marys.
Hi, Merry Readers! Today is October 3rd, and that means it is time for Chapter 14 of A Discovery of Witches in my real-time reread deep dive that I'm doing. If you have not already read this chapter, please feel free to pause this video, save it for later, go back and read up to Chapter 14, and then join us in the discussion below. This video will be full of spoilers from this chapter, as well as some nods to things that have happened in chapters before, so please make sure that you have read up until this point, and with that, I'm excited to dive in. So, chapter 14, Matthew meets Diana at 7:30 the next day, just as he promised, for dinner. He is immaculate in dove and charcoal today, and instead of Woodstock, he leads her into the All Souls College. It is quiet as a cathedral and guarded like Wonderland. Past a portal and a keypad, he takes her underground into his private wine cellar, rows of bottles by year and war, then a locked room of treasures. He chooses Dom Pérignon, 1961, her birth year wine, 1976, and a Chateau Margaux from a legendary vintage, and an ancient black bottle for later. Up in his rooms, which gave Edwardian gentleman vibes, Matthew serves continuing education, oysters with old champagne, a salad jeweled with berries, nuts, and a partridge, a Normandy veal stew with apples and cream, reheated with chef's instructions, and that transcendent Margaux, violets, cigar, smoke, blackberries, red currants. The flirtation spikes when Diana, half playful, half curious, asks, "What do you think I would taste like?" Instead of this being funny, Matthew goes still, then predatory, warning her that the witch's blood sings to vampires. The moment teeters on a knife edge as he grabs her arm and firmly tells her that she should never joke about blood, not even with him. They regroup by the fireplace with a glass of the 1795. Conversation turns confessional. Diana asks him if he has a fellowship at this college, and he says that he has. Conversation turns confessional. Diana reveals a truth of her own. Magic is desire made real, and the cost of constantly not wanting it. Finally, Diana drops the bomb. She'll recall Ashmole 782 on Monday. Matthew worries if she didn't cast a counterspell, then she must have met the enchantment conditions, and Knox will stop at nothing. But Diana refuses to be bullied. "I just want my life back." Afterwards, Matthew walks her home, hand in hand past the porter. He mentions he'll hunt in Woodstock tomorrow. She shrugs. That partridge versus deer is all the same. At her staircase, he lifts her palm to his lips and kisses the hollow. Shockingly intimate. Inside, the lock is freshly scratched. She waves to the night. Matthew is already gone. So the settings of this chapter, it's All Souls College at night, private wine cellar, Matthew's rooms. We have the characters of this chapter. It's Diana and Matthew. The historical and academic Easter eggs in this chapter, it's the All Souls mystique, and of course Matthew's prize fellowship at the All Souls College. Vintages as history lessons of all of the different wines that Matthew brought up. Foodways, Norman veal with apples, oysters, and of course we have magic watch for this one. Diana defines magic as desire made real, a clean bridge from alchemy to psychology, the siren song of witch's blood, non-spell magic of scent, sound, and instinct. The mood and tone of this chapter is romantic and sensual, and then suddenly it takes a turn when Diana makes an ill thought out joke at Matthew. There's candles, there's wine, there's framing a razor-thin line between tenderness and hunger that Matthew always carries with her. The symbols and details, there's of course the keys and locks, Matthew having of course all of the keys to these very elite places that he brings Diana to. There's wine, of course, which I think we're learning is very important to Matthew. It's a way for him to taste the past and relive the wonders that he enjoys so much of the different grapes and tastes throughout the years. The palm kiss, and then of course desire. which is the chapter's thesis after all. Romance watch, hand to hand holding, cheek to cheek, and then palm to lips kissing. The kiss is both warming and full of confession, a desire acknowledged, yet not yet consummated for Matthew. Food and drink, again, this is just such a rich chapter of food. There's oysters, there's champagne, a berry nut salad with partridge, Normandy veal. We are just learning about all these different wines, and then lemon, smoke, and chalk and butterscotch that Diana tasted from her birthday wine. Overall vibe and strength of this chapter, it's a showcase chapter with the setting, palette, scholarship, and a controlled burn of passion. And overall, I think it's just a very strong chapter, again, because we learn more about Matthew's desires and how they're always at the brink of him losing control with Diana. Foreshadowing, we have desire versus fear becomes a governing axis for both of them. The scratched lock and threshold, which Diana brushes over, but I found to be very suspicious, and then recalling Ashmole 782 on Monday sets a collision course with Knox and the creatures, and Matthew is feeling very nervous about this. So my discussion question for this chapter is, Matthew said the world runs on fear and desire. Diana says magic is a desire made real. With Ashmole 782 in play, which force is steering them right now, and how much danger comes from the collision of the two? And with that, I will leave you. Tomorrow there is no video, but on the 5th we will have 2 videos as we go into the next 2 chapters. So I will see you then. Bye!
So many readers, close your eyes. Let the stories lift and rise. Till next time, when lights will gleam.